Okay, hi everybody! I hope you enjoyed the little edits we made to the introduction to Ages Past with a slight little uh, waiting screen, as well as our new intro with our lovely players here displaying themselves in their classic roles for D&D tonight. Now, I am the DM tonight, and we have with us a selection of players. I would like for you to all introduce yourselves in the order that we've done, and I will go ahead and do as I promised and give all those who arrived here early 1,000 Hoda points. Well, they are not Hoda points, they are now triple T points. So, I'm going to go ahead and get that right away as we start with ladies first.
Okie dokie. My name's Kayla. I'm playing Valindra. She is the half-elf, half-tiefling Pact of the Undying Warlock / fighter. And she has Winnie, who is
the big bad
Fennec Fox. You shut your face. You're going to turn Winnie into the big bad because you're going to make me the big bad, and then I'm going to kill you.
You can try.
You want it to happen so badly.
Strong start.
Yeah, no, Winnie's not a big bad. He's totally innocent. Besides, he can't really do anything because he's dead. So, my poor baby.
All right.
Anyway, that's me. That's all I got going on.
Yeah, excellent. And of course, we have next up in our line.
Hello, I'm Scott, and I'll be playing Varkesh Stormcaller, the half-dragon forge cleric.
Brilliant.
I was stroked out there for a second.
Best Blue in the house. Next up, of course.
I'm Cody, and I'm playing Rook, the half Kenku, half Tiefling Inquisitive Rogue, and my whole family might be dead now, so I'm gonna have fun dealing with that today.
Who knows? But, of course, also having some family drama, we have...
Yeah! Hi, I'm Connor. I play Smoky Cloud, the half Tabaxi, half Fire Ganassi Abjuration Wizard, whose remaining family that's still alive wants to kill me.
Not your grandma. Your grandma still likes you.
Yeah. She's far away. She's not in the immediate area.
I just want to say I'm slightly proud that I'm the only character that has no family drama going on at the moment.
You're an orphan.
I have a mental issue.
I mean, you're not wrong.
That's a pretty good way to kind of eliminate family drama, but...
yeah, just eliminate the family.
There you go.
Pro tip right there.
Well,
Life hack for you.
Smokey, you're halfway there as you nearly got some of your relatives killed, but thankfully
I don't know that. I saw none of that.
You did. All right, but before we go into the recap, let us just do a quick little cover-up that you guys also could see a little bit in our intro video. We operate every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and of course, all the time you spend with us, you are accumulating these points, and these points can be used to influence the game, to purchase inspiration for the players, and soon to be added in an additional purchasing power for the viewers to get the players' magic items. So keep an eye out for that, as we will now introduce more things for you guys to have fun and play with as we dive into our D&D game. But as I say that, let's actually go back and do a recap from what happened last week with all of you guys here. So, we started off with you in the Trader's Hall, as you had made your way there in preparation for the day and learning that you were supposed to meet with your sister, Smoky's sister. And of course, trying to make sure that you had everything well in hand, you went there to purchase any additional magical scrolls, items, health potions, anything to help get that extra edge when combating this particular problem in what the time was meant to be at sunset. As you were in the Trader's Hall, you found Lulu, talked with her, tried to get some of the reward early. She said it would take a little bit of time, but you discussed among yourselves and made a bit of a plan to try and hopefully outwit Smoky's sister. With a bit of side wandering towards Rook's family first before heading into hiding, you made your way to the old district. However, you were intercepted by a strange figure, one that had been eyeing you in the Trader's Hall, revealing himself to be none other than Smoky's brother, Arad. Now, of course, Arad seemed to be keen on keeping you occupied, as, when you looked into the distance, there was some chaos and trouble happening at the cathedral where Rook's family resides. Battling the brother, you were able to not only fell him, but you cut out his tongue and brought him to near death and then absolute death. Smokey none the wiser in this situation, but while the combat happened, you saw that the cathedral fell, and from its ashes came a blue dragon that seemed to walk across the streets, ready to take you out in hopes to get the grimoire from Smokey. But alongside it was your sister as well, Bakira. And now she did her best to try and coax you to get the book, or to also maybe release Arand. But sadly, due to the chaos of battle, many things came and went. Others fell, some disappeared, and a few just tried to gather themselves up to avoid being blasted by lightning breaths. Luckily, you were able to push the dragon away and force him to retreat as he just sailed straight into the skies, leaving you behind for you to then see the remains of his work as the cathedral had been decimated. Rubble and ruins everywhere, bodies flung about, others wailing and crying and trying their best to see if they could save any of those who were trapped underneath the fallen stones. You were able to recover one survivor, Maggie, who was able to recognize Rook as you pulled her off to the side and tried to understand what was going on. She quickly became panicked, seeing the face of Valindra being that of a violet tiefling, and then eventually looking to Rook and warning him in the hand sign language that the Kenku use, you need to run. Now with that, we start off with all of you. Varkesh healing those in the distance, trying to give them a little bit of a helping hand, and the other three learning whatever Maggie is about to divulge. What do you want to do?
Why do I need to run?
She looks around desperately at that point, because she did see a massive creature attack the cathedral, and she looks panicked. She seems to be almost in that stage of shaken. She doesn't really know everything, and she just seems to look around, just keeps gesturing to you. You need to run. Run. Run.
I can't. Not without some idea of what happened here. The dragon's gone. Just sign to me. What is happening?
Go ahead and make for me a flat charisma check.
Okay. 14. Not bad.
14. Okay. She seems still a little on edge, but she is slowly calming down. It seems that it's taking her time just to breathe and realize what's going on. Varkesh, at this time, you would have finished healing your, whatever survivors you would have found to the side to give them
Would
aid.
I be causing them PTSD?
You might have gotten a few, what you would call almost like a when they see you, as if they.
It's fine. It's not that one. Different.
No,
It's racist.
because we still have our seamings on, right?
That's true. You're a half orc.
Yes.
Oh, good
Yeah,
point.
so you
Well,
look
I mean,
like
still,
a
he's a
dragon.
large, big half orc, so it's mostly.
I have not come here to eat you. Well.
But yes, so it seems that they wouldn't really have recognized that you are a blue half dragonborn. So, as you patiently wait for a little bit, Maggie eventually calms down enough and begins to focus on Rook specifically as she tries to sign to you rapidly. We were told no harm would come to us. They lied. They were angry. When we lost their treasures, they took some of ours. And they took your mother.
Who are they?
And your father.
Put your eggs all in one basket.
Who are they? Where did they go?
She shakes her head. She's like, don't know name. Don't know name.
Appearance?
They're not what they seem. Not what they seem.
Can I?
She's delusional.
Don't we have we've seen? Didn't Varkesh's dad? Hold on, let me figure out what I'm trying to ask first.
Don't bring my dad into this.
Didn't Varkesh's dad have some type of symbol that his clan's been using?
And by the way, AJ, I am with Varkesh with the healing with my brother.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's doing two.
Yeah,
Okay.
it looks kind of like
Mhm.
it's kind of like that, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm gonna draw the quick sketch of it and show it to her. Well, I don't know anything she's saying, so I can't. Never mind.
It's there.
Oh, that is a little dilemma. But yes, currently right now you are just watching them hand sign.
It's a meta magic.
Rook, what's happening? Rook, what's happening? What's going on?
Valindra, wait. They're not like what they seem? What, like illusions?
She nods furiously and she pushes her hand towards you, and you can see her hand go through yours, and she gestures to that.
Okay. Yeah. So they are indeed illusions. They're under illusions. Did they have any identifier that they used to mark who they were? Did they? How could you tell they were one of the ones who are not what they seem?
And she just kind of looks around and goes, They have power. Big power.
Big power.
And she does a motion of... She picks up, like, a small pebble, and she picks up another pebble. And she does this, but then she drops the smaller one and brings up a big one and knocks the other pebble away. Bigger. Power.
So they were larger than their forms appeared.
Think so.
More powerful?
Think so.
Okay.
Couldn't see. Illusion held. Couldn't see.
Powerful magic, then.
While this is happening, just FYI, since I don't know what's going on, I'm just going to keep a lookout instead and make sure that, like, see if anybody's, like, watching us or eavesdropping or anything.
Make a perception check.
Oh, good.
You can do it. Nat 20.
Well, now it's not going to be.
It's going to be a nat 20. It's going to be, watch, it's going to be a nat 20. It's 5 off. It's 5 off.
6 off, technically.
But still, all right.
Oh,
so
yeah, because of the one.
You keep an eye out, and you're doing a very good vigilant, left and right, keeping yourself all over, up to the sky, because you know there's a dragon, it could fly in, and you just look around just to see if anyone else might be lurking or spying or informing them what you're doing. Smokey and Varkesh, what are you doing at this time, by the way?
Well, Varkesh will be continuing to triage, but he's also going to be very silent, stoic, and appear very angry.
Okay.
Very, very angry.
Okay. I point to the dirt to the side of Maggie, take my rapier out, and draw the symbol of Varkesh's family. Well, the symbol that Varkesh's dad and their group has been using in the past. Does that look familiar?
She looks at it and nods furiously.
The big power, did they have that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I dust it away with my foot real quick. I turn to the others. Varkesh's father had his claws in my family too. Now he has my family.
Wait, he has both of them?
Wait,
He has your mom and
Both
your
of
dad?
them.
Do I actually
They've been
hear
taken.
this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not being quiet about it.
okay.
I'm being relatively quiet about it, keeping it within our circle here. But
Okay, because I thought you were just like saying this to Valindra.
Rook, do you feel the need to still stay here, or should we retreat?
we need to go to ground. We need to figure out where they took them.
Okay.
Well, there's that place that's... Well...
All right, Arnold, calm down.
I know
There's
what
that-
you're talking about, Valindra. Well, how about just because of what things happened this morning, how about we just stay quiet until we get someplace where no one can hear us? How about that?
Yes, I think that would be best.
I
Maggie,
think we should head in the direction of that thing.
I kind of is Maggie already standing up?
Oh, well, I mean, you can help her up if you want.
Yeah, I'm going to help her to her feet
Okay.
and point her towards the little healing circles. You need to get over there. Get yourself seen to. And get safe.
Is Rook by chance giving me the stink eye?
No, I don't blame Varkesh for his father's actions.
Thank God.
Do you, like, tell this to her, or did you sign it to her?
I said it aloud.
Okay. You might want to tell her... Well, I guess she can understand me. We're staying at the Golden Lily.
Are we?
Are we? I mean, we haven't been, but we
You
have
haven't
rooms
been
there.
to it here yet, no.
We have rooms there. Do you think? I mean, where should she go? I don't know. I don't know what's been happening lately.
I don't think,
think
that they're going to attack here again. So I think
it's best that she not be associated with us anyway from this point forth. I'll just make her a target.
I cast Calm Emotions on Valindra.
That doesn't.
it would for a
mechanically-
minute. But anyway, let's get going. I suggest we get out of town.
Maggie nods to you, but at the same time, she pulls you in a little closer, and she tries to do a whispered hand sign.
Okay,
And she
I'll
says,
watch.
"Where will you go?"
I don't know yet.
What did she?
She continues to hand sign in secret. They need you. Your people need you.
Yes, I'd agree. My family needs me now, especially. If I can get them back, we can work on rebuilding. I don't know what I can do for you on my own. This is a lot.
She nods, and she just pulls you in and kind of does like a hug, which, as she does, she kind of fades a little bit into the illusion. So those who are watching might kind of notice that a little bit, but as she pulls back, she just says, "Don't die."
I take the hug and kind of pat her on the back and hold her at arm's length. I won't. Stay safe, Maggie. Get to any of the safe houses. Stay underground. Preferably establish a new one, even if they've already had their claws in our family before.
She nods as she
And-
makes her way to the healing circle.
Watch for any signs of undeath, I would also say, before she leaves.
Oh, she'll nod to that too, yeah. She does head over to the place where Varkesh had initially started to set up. You also see that as Varkesh has done this, the big, slightly oversized bear has made his way over and has also started to try and tend to the wounds by sitting and doing a very similar motion to what Varkesh does with prayer healing.
I give a very, very stoic nod to the Bath Bear. Yep,
It doesn't
How's a
recognize
half-orc?
what you look like, and it just looks at you for a moment.
doesn't matter. Bros know. Bros know.
We should
Heal
smell him.
Rose.
He's the Bath Bear. He knows all.
I can't see you, but I can smell you.
I don't know if he
I
could.
smell like lavender.
Let's just see if he even has that. Not quite. He's not able to pick up the scent.
All right. Actually, Rook, can you ask anyone if they have rope? I think we are out of rope, and we have been for like months.
We've never had rope.
That's a good point, actually. You know what? We need to go collect Lulu anyway. We should just get some there, as
Okay.
it'll give us some cover too. We'll just look like regular shoppers.
Well, that's true. We are disguised. Okay.
Wait,
That's what we look like.
wait. Have we been disguised throughout this entire fight?
Yes.
Yes.
Fuck, change disguise.
I can't.
Oh boy. Okay.
He can drop it, but that's it.
Dropping it wouldn't do us any good either. We are very distinctive. We'll have to make do.
Okay, well, we know what direction we need to go in, right? So should we just like?
Well, I was thinking that maybe if I woke up my brother and I could cast a charm on him to make him like friendly and stuff, he could tell us where my sister went, and we
he's
could
lack-
attack
he's
her
Lacking.
before what?
He's lacking the.
There
the
are
language
ways he can communicate otherwise. He could take us to my sister before she recovers, and if we could get to her, then I can not be so freaked out all the time.
So
I just
wait, what
look
are you?
at Valindra. I'm like,
Are you gonna like kill her?
No,
Then why do you want to find her?
because we can like make it so she's not get to her before she gets to us. I'm not sure what I'll do, but
I feel that you need to finish with your book before you start making rash decisions.
Yeah.
We need to move right now more than anything. Let's walk and talk.
all right. Are we going to the edge of this? Are we getting out of the city then?
I think we should go out of the city.
Yeah,
I
we're in
think
the old
that-
district. That's by a wall. We can just go out that way.
Again, we need to collect Lulu first, or send
Do
a
we
message
need
to
to?
her. Are you able to? You or Varkesh either?
Not without a rest, and I have other plans for that.
Sorry,
Very
what are
much.
you asking?
Are you able to send a message to Lulu? Let her know that we are going to grounds.
Actually, that is a good thing. I should check to see if I. Yes, I can.
I think
definitely
we
do
should.
that.
I think we should send Lulu back to Alniel. Tell her we can meet her there.
I think that's maybe a good idea. See if she can get some compatriots and take the steamboat back, perhaps even.
But she already sent someone for that.
She sent someone to pay for additional time at the docks for it.
No, she sent
Also
people to actually take it back.
Oh, well, even better then.
I don't think she should be here.
Actually, she could be incredibly helpful.
How do you mean?
Well, she's albeit very infamous within the Traders Guild, and the Traders Guild is a very expansive corporation, an entity within this world. There might be means that we could use to exfiltrate.
The means that they would be looking for is money, of which we have very little at this time, and with a disaster like this, I don't know if that trade's happening today.
I still have some cash. But we don't know unless we try. We have to have options. We can't just go run out the city and then expect no bad things to happen.
Well, the last time we saw, there was a bunch of Kenku surrounding the Traders' Hall looking for us.
I think Rook's family are probably going to be more interested in the fact that
I don't think it was Rook's family.
It wasn't.
But still,
I was just talking with Maggie. Larkash, your father has infiltrated my family's ranks. They could be anything. Those Kenku that we saw, they've been using disguises to walk among them like nothing.
True. Or, the other hand, they could be normal Kenku, and they could be now in complete blind-ass splits confusion about what the hell's just happened, giving us
or, more likely, looking to take more territory.
Doubtful.
There's more than one Kenku gang in this city, Varkesh.
No, I know, as we have talked about before.
I say we avoid the Traders' Hall and go to ground and get out of the city. That's my vote.
We know what direction the hold near Trilac is, right? I don't see it on the map anymore, but all the
yes.
It's Greenwood.
Okay.
Greenwood.
You do know that there's one in Greenwood, and the other mark was the one that you had already visited.
And Greenwood,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm no, sorry. You've went to the one that was in Deepwood. You've also been to the marked X in Trilac, which is the vaults.
Oh.
So there's just one more then, technically.
Yep.
Greenwood.
So-
We know of.
I think we should head in the direction of Greenwood.
It is where they would most likely take my family. It's the closest and only one that we know that's still established.
I mean,
I don't think we should attempt an assault on it tonight.
No, definitely not.
But
And Smokey, I know you want to find your sister, but I mean, at this point in time, if you're not willing to let her be taken care of forever, there's nothing we can do. We're just going to keep running from her.
Okay, it was just an idea. I thought we could press our advantage, but I hear what you're saying.
I wouldn't listen to her. That's what he'll say.
Wait, you wouldn't listen to me?
Because he didn't see what you did he?
No, he was around a corner.
Right. I'll keep that to myself for now.
Okay, so what are we doing? Are we getting out of the city? Are we headed towards the last place? That seems like the thing that most people are okay with. I don't feel comfortable going deeper into the city.
yes, out of the city, more towards Greenwood Forest, preferably into the forest, but not directly to our not directly to the stronghold.
Okay.
We'll need to keep some very consistent watches during this time, but it's about our best bet to get some time to rest, recuperate.
All right, let's go. And Varkesh, are you okay carrying my brother?
Mm-hmm. Yep, totally fine.
I don't know that we should do that.
Not leaving him.
If they have a way to watch him, They'll know where we are, too.
They have a way to watch us, but if they can't watch us, then they can't watch him either.
Can you do that thing you do?
I can, but I'm saving that kind of as if we can find a place that I feel is safe, then yes, I can do it.
My concern with this is
We still need rope.
so he knows if he's with us, yes, she has ways of finding us that she could still use to find him. He wants to be found. And I'm sure that she has means of communicating with him the way that Varkesh often communicates with other people. And he can tell her things as long as he's with us that she can only get glimpses into.
Okay.
He will be a 24/7 scry on us.
Okay, what if we can just go a little bit like into an alley? I assume we've been moving this whole time. If you guys can give me just like 5 minutes with him, I can interrogate him, get information on him, and then you guys knock him out and we'll leave him someplace safe. How about that as a compromise?
Just
Okay.
be
We
gentle
can do that.
with him. He's had a very rough day.
Okay. So are we kind of like I'm looking for like an out of the way alley or something?
Oh, absolutely.
Like that.
Easy enough to do. You can find a place where the buildings have been propped up enough to make a space between a few, so you can do that.
Okay, I'm going to try to cast Charm Person on my brother.
Okay. He is completely unconscious, so it does seem to settle on him, but he doesn't wake up.
Okay, I am going to take my potion of healing.
Don't. I'll just cure wounds in level 1.
Okay. 7. All right. So as Varkesh
And
helps,
like I assume he's being grappled at this point, like Varkesh has him and stuff. Actually, he's also charmed.
I mean, he's charmed right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you press the cure wounds upon him, it's enough to awaken him and to at least clot enough of the blood that might have started to spill out from his mouth, and he is able to come to looking around. He can see Smokey. He smiles a little bit, but then he kind of goes, "Oh."
Yeah, it's well, don't it. I'm very, very sorry, Arad, but
I feel so bad.
this is important. Like both me, you, and Bahira are all in danger. I need to know what you know. So, can you communicate? Can you nod? Can you shake your head?
I'm gonna go keep watch at the end of the alley, so I don't have to
Okay.
listen.
All right.
Okay,
He does seem to be in a bit of pain. It looks to be that's his main focus, but eventually, after a while, with a bit of kind of focusing onto him, he does look at you and nod
Okay.
slowly, but you can see like tears are starting to come down his eyes. He's realizing he has lost his tongue.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to cast Minor Illusion and just like make an illusion of a piece of paper appear in my hand, and it will say, "Can you do this?"
He goes through the similar motions and creates a blank sheet of paper.
You're not. I will try again. Yes or no on the piece of paper.
Then he'll repeat it and go, "Yes."
Okay.
As you now all get to talk with Etch-a-Sketch.
I love it.
Yes. And I just create on a piece of paper, aside from you, Bahira, and the young blue dragon, did anyone else come with you on this mission?
Yes.
Who?
Guards. Agents. He kind of pauses for a moment. He puts one more word down. Suzerain's guard.
Does Smokey know what that is?
Make a history check.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. 24.
Oh, all right. Yes, you do know that the suzerain himself employs some of what you would consider the what they perceive to be either the best, the brightest, or the most likely rising of the younglings in a sense. They bring them in, and almost imagine it very similar to how if you had a court of nobles, and when you want to make treaties and give people a sense of not going to fuck with anyone, you marry off your daughters or your sons.
So you give titles to.
Yeah, this is in a sense dragons who have their different lands scattered around the desert. They send some of their what they believe and what are also probably accepted by the suzerain, the elite of their offspring, and they are taken in and trained and developed to become guards. So they are almost kind of a spectrum of all the different family clans of the blue dragons.
And so they're not. Are they dragons though?
Oh, the dragons, absolutely.
They are dragons. Okay, I wasn't sure if you were talking about Ganassi or
no. They're dragons, and they all are just from different clans scattered across, and they each are sent and they form a guard unit for him.
And I would know that they are all blues.
They're all blues. Oh yeah.
All right. How many dragons did you came with you?
1.
Okay. How many guards and how many agents?
50 guards, 10 agents.
I like them odds.
Are those guards the same ones that we fought with before who could turn into fire elementals?
Those are agents.
Okay. Smokey would know that. But, okay. Where were they holed up?
Outside the city, to the north.
To the north. Okay, that's not bad for us. How much did Bahira tell you of what our plan was this morning?
He goes out. Not much. I overheard a bit from you. Told her where you were. She informed me that she knew you were disguised and about to betray us. Told me to follow. Sent me your descriptions.
Do you know where she is now?
No. Maybe at camp?
Were you told of any sort of plan for reinforcements if you needed them?
No.
Do you have any idea of how much of her energy Bahira has used today?
No.
Do you guys have any questions for him?
No, nothing springs to mind. Other than perhaps where that camp is?
Can you give us some sort of landmark about where the camp is to the north of the city?
He minor illusions an overview of the city near the lake. He points over here, and then he minor illusions again, and it shows a willow next to a lake. And nearby you can see an encampment.
Wow!
All of that. Yep, I feel that way too.
I don't... Arad, as you are now, do you feel safe going back to the camp? Do you think the dragons already killed you once? Do you think that it may kill you again?
What do you mean?
When you were unconscious, the dragon breathed with its target of me, but you got caught in the fire.
I just raise my fist and clunk, and just knock him out. Just absolutely, just like knock him out.
Varkesh, that was an important question.
I believe he's very tired. He's been through a lot.
Varkesh?
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
I just feel because he's lost a tongue and he's been really, really, really hurt that it's not important.
Varkesh.
No, that is important.
I need to know if I can send my brother back to them or if he will be killed for being captured by the enemy.
That is a good point, but I'm going to stick to my reasons why.
I don't. Well, we can't. Apparently, we can't take him with us. So, what would we put him in the traders' hall? I don't want him near Lulu. I don't.
Recruit him.
We could get him a room at the Golden Lily.
Yep,
and then what?
Tie him up. I'll heal him, and then we leave.
It would be a spectacle if we tried to put him in there from like a direct frontal entrance. We would have to sneak him in, but that would put him in a safe location for at least a day.
I'm pretty sure he can sneak just fine without, his missing parts, but it's just a matter of him having a safe place to go. We're in the middle of a gang war, as well as a blue dragon who's probably not very happy with him right now.
What do you propose we do for him if he's not safe going back to the camp anyway? I agree that we need to determine if it is safe for him to go back in the first place, but our options are limited.
Regardless, if we take him somewhere safe, make sure that he stays that way, and then when we leave, he can find a way of contacting your sister, and they can hash it out. Right about now, it's sad to say we can't really focus directly on him.
I mean, what if... I don't feel good going back in the city. I mean, if we just are there a lot of wild animals in this part of the world, Rook? Like, if we tied him to a tree or something, would he be okay?
The woods weren't really my purview. Generally speaking, if we put him high enough, though, that tends to discourage most predators. Either way, I don't think that would be a good idea to risk it, and as he's not affiliated with any one gang, he wouldn't be a target among the others anyway.
I feel that if we woke him up and made sure he couldn't follow us, he would be able to get by okay enough on his own. He's not... He doesn't always... He's not the best thinker, but he's not dumb. He can I have confidence that he can survive this. At least until midnight, and we can possibly do something else.
True, but while keeping him safe and stabilized, when we leave, if he's that smart, or at least smart enough as what you say, he'll be able to contact his sister, and then they can hash it out.
Yes, but he hasn't heard anything about what our plans are.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't really be super helpful without his magic. And also no swords or no armor.
Mm-hmm.
Again.
Poor guy. He really has had a rough day.
Yeah. Should get some padlocks.
Fucker tried to kill us multiple times. No remorse.
I mean, Varkesh, you can heal from a distance, can't you? If, as we're just walking away, you just, wake him up and then we just go?
The question is where do you want to leave him?
I mean, even just right here I have confidence that he can take care of himself.
Well, okay,
if he's awake.
Then let's leave him his gear. That he has something, at least.
Let's leave him his armor.
Mm-hmm. I'll take out my bag of holding.
How powerful is this armor, though?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's his second batch. I don't think he could have... I don't want to spend time examining this armor right now, Valindra.
Okay.
Wait. No. Just check my thing. Yep, I have a chain shirt I can give him. It's a standard chain shirt.
Fine.
And he's handy with the more dexterous sort of weapons from what I saw. I do have at least a dagger I can leave.
Great.
Oh, and actually a hand crossbow. Just a mundane one, though.
Let's not give him a hand crossbow.
How much, based on previous knowledge, how much would it cost to stay one night in the Golden Lily?
It depends on how many rooms you get.
Well, just for one room.
Oh, a single room? If it's big enough for all of you?
No, just for him.
Oh, just for him. It would be at least a gold.
I will leave him 2 gold.
Okay.
So he can get like food and such.
So, leaving him on the ground, you deposit 2 gold, a dagger,
Yeah.
a chain
And
shirt,
and a note from Smokey.
and a note. All right. What does the note say?
The note says, Arad, I am so sorry. I don't know what else to do, but I suggest that you go to ground, as this combat today did not look favorably upon you in the eyes of the dragons, and I do not know if you'll be safe to go back. Contact Bahira. She's definitely still loyal to you, as am I. Be safe. Your brother Smokey.
Okay. All right.
And I will leave the note, like I'll tuck it under the dagger or chain shirt or something.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yep. I mean, he has a belt, so you can absolutely just put it right in the belt.
Yeah. Can I like hide the gold in the bottom of his shoe or something so like he'll feel it, but
Sure.
Pretty smart.
it's not just like laying out or in his money pouch.
Sure.
And then are there some guards nearby?
Not at the moment where you are. You're in an alleyway that you ducked a bit of, out of line of sight.
Well, yeah, but like in the main street.
Oh,
area.
yes, there are absolutely a plethora of people who are like gathering around this sudden destruction. There's citizens, onlookers, guards, some trying to get order, a few clerics, and some people trying to be good citizens to help and do whatever they can. So it's grown over the time that you've had this little powwow in the alley.
Do you think we should give him to the guards just for safekeeping, kind of? We can just pretend he was a victim of this attack. We don't have to tell them anything else. It will just keep him from unfortunate people finding him in a vulnerable position.
He's also not critically wounded, so he won't be top priority if a healer gets to him, so it gives us some time to get away and make sure he's taken care of humanely.
Fine. Let's go ahead and do that, but we need to go after this.
Okay.
So you keep his armor and his scimitars and take him to a guard?
I say one of us will just go to a guard and just point them in the direction of his body.
I was gonna kind of like.
My people have a reputation.
I was gonna kind of like
you.
I look like a tiefling though, and they have just as much of a reputation.
For God's sake.
Oh, that's true. Oh well, I'm gonna do it anyway. Like kind of like put one of his arms over my shoulder and kind of like drag him a little bit.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna get one of the guards' attention and say, he's hurt. He needs help.
Okay.
And just kind of like lay him down at their feet, and then once they like take him and act like they're making, you gotta move. once they like start paying attention to him, I'm gonna kind of like back out and leave.
Okay, so as you do this little performance, allowing you the time to just get them to come to you, leading him down, and just kind of backing away as they would almost give like a silent nod as they would take over responsibility of bringing him to one of the healing centers in hopes to try and get him back to consciousness as they slowly return to what appears to be this growing mob of people speculating, whispering, analyzing, many of them sending up rumors and gossip about what happened, but none seem to be too clear at the moment. They're still a little shaken, but you have this time to move if you wish.
Yep, we're booking it.
Okay, where are you booking it to?
I imagine the old district probably has like not a very great wall surrounding it. So can we try? Rook, do you know any way of like? Are there any like ways to get through the wall in this area? Like secret ways out of the city?
Would I be able to think of any egresses not specifically used by my family?
Make a history check.
Okay. I am proficient, so it's a minimum 16. 16.
we haven't leveled up yet.
Oh, right, we haven't hit the rest yet. So it's still 16 regardless.
Okay. You do recall that there might be at least one or two places that weren't really necessarily cared for because they were broken down close to the bridge that would just lead you around the outside and get you straight to the lake.
Okay. There are a couple. I think the nearest is this way, and I'll start making my way towards the nearest one that I can think of.
Okay. So, all four of you make your way, following Rook, towards the north side of the ruined old district, finally coming across what appears to be a small, broken segment of stone that allows anyone to pass single file through to get to the other side. Varkash, you have to do a little bit of a squeeze.
And before we go on, I will check it all for traps as well, too.
Okay, make an investigation
Traps or any
check.
watchers. Investigation 19.
Seems clear.
Cool. All right, then we can go through.
Okay. So as you all get through, Varkash doing his version of like, there's a bit of a
Someone grease me up.
There's some scraping and metal just kind of rubbing against some stone, but eventually you emerge on the other side, and you can see probably about 500 or so feet away from you the shore of the lake.
Okay, so we need to stay away from the North Lake and just, sort of skirt to the woods, I think.
You are right by the North Lake.
Oh no.
To give you an idea for you on the map a little bit, so you all are currently right where Arad's token is right now. Where Rook's token is. Just right there,
Okay.
onto the point of that little border between the South Lake and the East Lake. So you've gone north and touched the lake.
If we keep to the mountains, we may be able to slip by.
Okay, well, hopefully. They've got to be in disarray too. Their three big hitters are down. So,
yes.
we just need cover from the air, essentially, at this point.
Bahira should be out for at least an hour, although probably nearing close to a half hour at this point. The dragon's a concern, but we've chased him off once. I think we could probably do it again if we really came down to it, but we do need to hurry.
Can I do a quick perception check to just try and see if I can make out anything, like the willow tree or like the troops or anything like that?
Well, as you look around and you try to see any indication, you're not able to see it from here. You get the sense that you probably have to go a little bit more to the east to get to them.
Sure.
Can I make sure we're not being followed?
Make a perception check.
I would like to assist.
Okay. You can give her advantage.
No!
You don't want advantage?
No! I never want advantage! I always want someone else to roll with me!
Okay, you can give me advantage if you want.
It's too late!
Too late.
Yeah.
There you go.
Fuck!
It is what it is.
Together.
You're occasionally looking over your shoulder, keeping an ear out. You seem fine. There's no problem so far.
All right. We're moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which way are you moving? Left? Right? Across the water?
No. Do you know a path through the mountains, Rook?
Do I know a path through the mountains?
No.
No, I do not. We'll have to either try to trailblaze one through or stick to the edges.
We're outside the walls at this point?
Well, what you could try to call as walls, yes.
Okay.
Wait, do I know these mountains?
Make a history check.
Oh, great. 14. It's not that bad.
When you kind of look to the east, you can see that a particular mountain does stand very prominent, and that is the Crag Cave Mountain just to the south. And as you follow its peaks off to the east, you do recognize that that mountain range just east of you right now is probably the one that you went by. You passed it on your way into Florin when you were escaping earlier in your years.
Okay. I'll keep that to myself because I don't feel like I'll be able to correctly navigate it.
All right. Well, I would like to be able. I think I told you this. I like the idea of us hiding out underwater, but so being near a lake is kind of important. So we don't want to go too far away. And I think if we cross a mountain range, that'll be too far away.
It definitely wouldn't be ideal.
Wait, too far away from what?
From one of the lakes. My plan is that
No, I get it. You want to go underwater and wait it out there, correct?
I think he froze.
He did.
Oh,
wow.
boy.
Oh dear.
Quick, someone be a Smokey.
My plan is to do something with water that I don't actually know because I'm not actually Smokey.
Well, he had
Very
kind of
good.
mentioned his plan before, and it was to like go underwater and then do like the water breathing spell, and then
Do the Mordecai sanctum thing.
yeah, so that if by somehow she was able to take a look at us, underwater is kind of nondescript.
Oh,
There's not
yeah,
too many landmarks.
that is true. That would be quite effective.
He back yet?
No, he's still frozen.
Oh wow.
But that was his plan because he told us last session.
He did. And he did mention that he was planning on using the sanctum down in the water. But he knew that he only could do it for a certain period of time, and he was aiming to try and do it during the point when it was closer to midnight, because I think it's only 8 hours.
8 hours left of the final deadline.
Yeah, he wanted to. I believe he wanted to do it 8 hours prior to the midnight hour.
Yeah, that was the plan, so that he could actually set his book again,
Because let me
and
just
without having an issue.
double check on that one, because I knew from the spell description. Because I think it's only 8 hours, but it could be more.
Yeah, so he's talking in the chat. He said that he votes for cover and a short rest ASAP, but not underwater for the short rest. Save that for the long rest later this evening.
Okay. So, I mean, you're outside the wall right now. What do you wish to do?
Actually, I'd like to go ahead and look for a cave along the edge of the mountains here, relatively close to the lake, while we're moving along them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the sanctum lasts 24 hours, so he could do it earlier. His face shifted a little bit, but he's still frozen.
Shifted.
It's in that moment you can see the face is just kind of that.
His face shifted for a bit.
Okay, so Rook, you would know that.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Oh my god!
Technical difficulties
did the
abound.
kitty pull out a cord?
Yes.
Okay.
No, he just turned off my camera.
Okay. Well, we're just having fun, aren't we? So, Rook, you would know that if you imagine right now with your orientation in this on the map that you can see right here, to the north of you is the lake, left and right of you is the shoreline that leads either closer to the new district or off to the mountains to the right. Now, in order to get to those mountains to the right, you would have to travel basically between this kind of grassy meadow that exists between the shore of the lake and the border walls of Trilak. If you head in that direction, you know that eventually, before you reach the mountains, you will get to the camp.
Okay, so that will definitely lead us to the camp. Do not want to do that.
Because he showed you a minor illusion of the entire aerial view, so you would know exactly that direction.
Okay.
By the way, guys, I am so sorry for our screens getting a little whooped
difficulties.
right now. Yeah, because on the screen now we all look a little bit like we're cramped into weird spaces. Once Connor comes back, we will be able to reorient ourselves.
Well, does anybody feel up for a swim to at least get around the camp?
Oh, just a random dragon fight and then just a bit of skinny dipping afterwards. Yeah, sure. Normal day.
I mean, do we need to swim to get around the camp? We can't.
It's the best way to get through without drawing any attention to ourselves. We will be outlined against the water if we do not go under the water for a time.
Scott, do me a quick favor and just turn off your camera and turn it back on.
Okay.
Okay. I'm back, y'all.
Okay, welcome back.
Wait, Connor had his thing, then he turned it off. We gotta wait for Connor now.
Sorry.
Alright,
Okay.
now, Scott, you can turn yours on.
Okay.
Perfect. Alright, we are back and we are reorganized. Okay, so, how and where do you wish to go?
Okay, alright. So, again, does anybody feel up for a swim? I think if we go under the water around the encampment, we can at least get past that and then make an arc over to the mountains.
Yeah, it's true. I can. If let me just look at this scroll really quick and see if I can actually just make a quick copy of it for reference before I lose it again. So, DM, if you'll allow me to look at the scroll of water breathing, can I try and make a copy of it just for my notes to copy into my book later?
Do you have proficiency with Arcana?
I certainly do.
Do you? All right. Okay. So
I will assist.
Are you kidding?
I
kind of
couldn't
wizard
remember
doesn't?
if you added that in last time because I remember that was
I
a
have a-
thing. Oh, it was Valinda.
That
who
was
doesn't have it.
Valindra.
Yeah.
Yeah, Valindra doesn't know shit about magic.
All right. So you can just make a flat Arcana check.
No, I'll assist him.
There's no assist necessarily in this.
I'm proficient
Okay.
in Arcana.
Yeah.
Well, like if he looked at the scroll as well and made sure he dotted all of his T's and
Yep.
Okay, imagine-
crossed all his
the
T's
eyes,
and dotted all of his
crossed the
I's.
T's and dotted the I's.
Oh yeah, like a spell checker.
Spell checker.
Yeah, you should have done. That was a good
Hey.
joke. All right.
Hilarious.
Yes. So it's
Yay or
basically
nay?
it's your version of quick notes. It's done in a way that you can understand it, so that later on, when you prepare the spell fully and understand the complexities of casting this, you can start to get a hang of it. So this is kind of more what you would see as your version of taking notes in a class. So it might be shorthanded here and there. So it's not necessarily someone can give advantage on. It's just your version of mentally trying to get it in a quick way that you could just quickly remember
Okay.
and get it from there.
Okay, here we go.
So, yeah. 13 is your DC.
I'm gonna use one of my advantages to re-roll that.
Okay, one of the inspiration points purchased
Oh, boy.
by viewers to re-roll that net one. Oh God.
For frickin' roll 20.
You failed completely, but you believe you succeeded.
Oh, that would have been so bad. Oh dear.
Well,
All right,
well,
so
come on,
the
Internet.
inspiration taken from Smokey. Smokey is now down one inspiration. He is now
Yep.
the only one without one. Everyone else, I think, has
nope, I had 2, so I have 1 left.
one. Okay, we need to stop that double down.
Yeah, I clicked it.
Try
It
to-
hasn't gone through yet. May want to click it again.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Apparently it didn't hear. Arcana, come on.
There it
19.
goes.
Much better.
19.
All right. So
Oh, there it goes again.
I knew I clicked it.
yes, you definitely get a hang of it, and you can shorthand the scroll on the few pieces of parchment that you have, so that with it you could eventually analyze, trial and error, and create the spell to be put into your book for later.
Great. Close the book. I will use the scroll. I want to do something first, but I should do it now. Is there any way we can short rest before we travel?
Of course
Do
you
you guys
can.
feel comfortable? Do you guys feel comfortable doing that?
Yeah.
Comfortable?
For now.
No. But if we have to, we can.
Might as
The
well.
reason is I will message Rook. I want to contact Eldarin, our high elf friend, to see if he can join us. And if he's going to join us, I want to cast water breathing on him too.
I think
Okay.
last time
I will go
messaged
one by
him, it
one
was
to each of my party members.
on his-
Oh,
Share this.
nice.
I see the appeal. Yes. Okay.
Okay.
But I can't contact this person until I have rested.
Well,
can
we
contact
had
him
best
now.
get as close to
Oh,
the...
Barkesh, you can contact him now? Then...
Write down what you want to say, and I will relay it to him.
Have you contacted Lulu yet as well?
She'll be fine.
I honestly have confidence in Lulu. She is a strong, independent woman.
I think
Who
dragons
frightens
are
many.
afraid of the devil, so
Well, devils are magic resistant.
Why
so they
you
got
didn't
that
bring
going for
Lulu
them.
into the fight, you'll never know. But hey,
she would want something in return.
Yeah, like our eternal souls.
All right.
Or the blood of the innocent.
Although, I mean, to be fair, no, never mind. I did look over our employment contract. No souls in there.
Blank.
Well, much like redheads, birds don't have souls.
Blank.
I would contest that, but actually, geese are a thing, so I don't think I can. They got
Trust
teeth on
me.
their tongues, man. It makes me uncomfortable.
I'm a cleric. I know what doesn't have a soul, and birds do have
as
souls.
Smokey takes his time to figure out the best words to tell Barkesh to relay to your elven friend.
Sup, bitch?
Okay, here we go. I haven't counted yet.
Lots of love, Barkesh.
I'm 1 over, but just like And the little star is supposed to be like a landmark that we would obviously be able to see, but I don't know about.
Ah, okay. Well, then you would absolutely have a less, I suppose, at that point, because you're going to be...
Yeah. So join at North Wall. So that's 2 words down. Have wife. 2 more words down.
I would basically say
as possible, not come as quickly as possible.
If you take away come as quickly as possible and replace it with near
ASAP.
North Lake by Trilac.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Probably be sufficient.
Yeah, and just come ASAP.
Okay. All right, and as you relay that to Varkesh, you...
I would then read it out and send out the message.
All right, so that is your a
obviously
3rd level.
Indeed, it is.
Or you okay? Good. You got a 3rd level to burn. All right. So as you focus and send out the spell, relaying the message that Smokey had told you to, you hear a reply saying, "That's good to hear. I'm already here. I couldn't find you, but I shall head there now, looking for you and your party immediately."
Okay. Should have wrote be discreet, but you know what? He's snuck on up once before, so I have high hopes.
I do love some irony that you guys have overlooked, but that's okay. So
don't say that.
You know what? You can tell us after.
Yeah.
After we're dead.
After the failure, sure.
Great.
So you guys.
Oh, he doesn't know what we look like.
Bollocks.
Guys, we're disguised.
I mean, we're out of the city technically now. I mean, you could drop it.
I mean, we gave him a landmark.
I don't think the rewards really serve much of a purpose at this point, anyway. Truthfully,
yeah.
I would drop it.
Having realized that Smokey will he'll what's something subtle he can do with minor illusion that can kind of show that things are magic. He's just.
What if we just
minor illusion, a tiny arrow pointing down?
Actually,
right above us.
Look, why can you just keep a good lookout on a rooftop or something for him showing up, and we'll all do that, and so we'll see him.
We are outside the city, so not a rooftop, but I will certainly keep an eye out.
It's
I'll send Winnie kind of back closer to the north wall to kind of keep a lookout, and if he sees him, then he'll get his attention and bring him to us, because he's seen Winnie before.
Wait, isn't this guy a transmutation wizard?
Yes.
That means he can turn into animals and fly.
Well,
Bring your neck upwards, lads.
I mean, if he can't find us, he's probably going to contact us again anyway. So we're just going to see what happens, and Smokey will kind of just he needs to rest. Are we going to rest here? Or are we hoping he finds us quickly?
We can start the rest until he gets here.
Okay, AJ,
if we have time. We have time.
Will you allow me to rest and then just do little minor illusion stuff to show that this person is doing magic?
Sadly, you cannot do that during a short rest. Okay. Short rest requires you to literally do nothing, but basically
What we could do is we could take his wife out of the bag of holding. That would certainly get his attention.
That would be risky. Because if anything does happen, then that's putting his wife at risk. I would say just drop the spell, because if he sees us...
You know what? That's actually probably a good idea at this point, I think. Is everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, of course. And we should see if we can do anything to conceal ourselves.
Seeming drops, and we're going to look for cover.
Okay. You look around. There is nothing except for some ruined wall behind you and some bare open lake shore to the front. It's a meadow kind of plain. There's nothing really for you to put yourself into cover. No bushes, no trees. Just some slightly tall grass.
I mean, we can't hide too well because then he won't see us.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking out for.
I mean, Valindra, we can do minor illusion of rocks and just stand in them.
Yeah, okay. Everyone huddle!
Oh boy, okay.
Okay, so
I like
you start this for the first time and you hold it and it lasts for a minute, and then you realize if you constantly keep doing this, one of you will not get a short rest.
Oh, I think we're past the short rest. What if we... Yeah, But then he can't see us anyway. This is so ridiculous.
Can we just sit on the
Yeah,
grass
let's just sit.
for an
Let's sit.
hour?
Okay, you just sit there in the place.
Huddle up against the wall to at least cut down on 180 degrees of view for us, and get
Yeah.
as low as possible.
Okay.
All right, sitting with your backs to the wall. Each of you having the seeming spell dropped. And
Yes.
you all are now back to your original forms. You take a short rest, using this time to gather yourselves, recover your spells, and your hit points. And also gaining your level, because we are going to go ahead and give you that little boost at this time, as opposed to during a long rest. So, you are now able to increase your spells to the 6th level for, I believe, the Cleric and Wizard. Rogue obviously gets your expertise, and Warlock getting a level in the lock. You get your...
Stat or feat.
Yes.
Oh, I think I chose.
Oh yeah, we can do hit dice.
Yes, you can.
I forgot about that.
7 back takes me up to 79, and I am out of hit dice again.
I chose the feat spell sniper.
Ooh.
To extend your ranged attacks double so.
And to ignore half cover and 3/4 cover, and to learn an extra cantrip.
What you get?
I got Green Flame Blade.
Okay.
It's creative, I like it.
And
Maybe
Smokey
I'll
got
stab some.
Arcane Recovery and got 2 third-level spell slots back, as well as a 6th slot. So
Wait, when you say that we leveled, do we get all our spell slots back? Or
Just-
No.
we get our new
Okay,
one.
okay.
We each get a 6th spell slot.
Right, good, because I was about to literally refill everything.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
All right.
But that was a
Um,
long rest. Okay, so
Yeah, I picked up Reliable Talent as an 11th level rogue. Makes it so that anything I'm proficient or expertise in, any die roll below a 10 becomes a 10 on dice plus stat boosts. It's fantastic. And additionally, my sneak attack went up to 66 instead of 5d6.
Indeed. So, as you take this time to recover and basically just trying to take a breather, Rook, your passive perception does alert you to the presence of something peculiar. As you look up into the sky, there is a bird. And the bird is circling around your party very intently, just like a vulture over some carrion. But it begins to descend. And it gets closer.
I am readying my hand crossbow in case it's anybody except the wizard or somebody that I recognize to take a shot at it.
It seems to be almost a small, inconspicuous bird. As it gets closer, it looks to be maybe like a wood pigeon. But it does land... Well, it goes to land on Varkesh.
Where, specifically?
On the shoulder.
I mean, they're good eating, but I know
But it's
probably the wizard.
going... You see, it's making its way, like the final dive is towards Varkesh.
Okay.
Bogey's incoming.
I mean,
Yeah,
again,
Smokes-
I'll just...
Smokey's way too freaked out. He's going to say, nope, and kind of wave it away.
Just let it perch on me.
Okay, well...
I'm actually too short to actually stop this from happening.
Oh, sorry. You try to bat it away, and it just doesn't seem to care as you bat, and then it just sits there and looks down at everyone. But looks over towards Varkesh. Does like a little head tilt.
Look, if you're the guy that we're supposed to meet, can you not be that anymore? We're kind of paranoid at this moment, so if you don't turn into a familiar face soon,
no.
we're going to start shooting.
Wait. Don't listen to her. If you're going to transform, do it off my shoulder.
The bird flutters off your shoulder.
Thank you. Just check to see if there's any bird crap on my shoulder, because
At this point, Smokey will try to cast a message on the bird.
There's no bird crap on your shoulder, but go ahead, you can cast message.
Yeah, Smokey. All right, so it's been a bad day. You either transform now, or we are going to start opening fire.
As you say that, the pigeon is looking around, making sure that everything's okay before it just turns into Eladrin, as you recognize your elven wizard friend, and he seems to look a little bit on edge as he's trying to make sure that you are who you are as well. He seems to be peering at you, making sure that you're real. He did a test to see if that was an actual person.
We have your wife.
Don't
That
say it like
sounded
that.
less creepy
That's
in my
very
head.
ominous. True, but very ominous.
All right.
I mean, it would, coming from an over 8 foot tall, lightning breathing reptile.
So you said, where is she? I don't see her anywhere.
I just like open the bag and just like, she's in here.
Still petrified.
Oh, I see.
All right.
We also have the entire Medusa corpse, if that's of any use to you.
Shit, thanks
not
for
at all.
reminding me about that. I'm actually going to take that out and throw it away.
No.
No, not here, Varkesh, please.
It's like, yeet. Just yeet it across the fucking field.
Are
We
you
can't
throwing
get
it?
ourselves to...
I will try to stop him because that's a very valuable artifact.
Corpse. Okay, fair enough.
Okay. You just keep it in the bag?
Yes,
Sure,
okay,
if Smokey wants to keep a corpse, sure.
shall we move this to less hostile environs?
Yes. Smokey will get out the spell scroll and he will cast water breathing on all 5 of us.
Exactly. What? All right.
You're
All right.
going to have to trust us on this matter. There have been extenuating circumstances.
You'll have to explain yourself when we are finished with this. Where are we heading? Into there. He gestures to the water.
Yep. And Smokey starts walking.
I'll walk alongside Smoking.
Okay.
Into the lake we go.
All right.
Or rather, I'm going to dash ahead and just get it there as fast as possible.
Okay. With a little bit of juvenile nature inside Rook, he just moves it to the lake. I mean, he can even cannonball into it or dive if he wants, but the rest of you, especially the elf, just seem to be a bit more casual and collected as he walks towards the lake, and you all begin to submerge and use the weight of your body to slowly breathe in and sink as you start to take in the water. It feels like it just gives you the oxygen it needs, but it doesn't actually let you stay afloat. As you begin to breathe it in and out, you realize that your bodies just naturally start to sink and allow you to walk and easily make it to the bottom of the lake. It gets very murky and dark. The light does not really pierce down into the depths of this deep lake, and you start to realize that at the moment it is becoming near pitch black for those who have no real vision to see by. It's murky and it is obscured, and you do get the sense that Eladrin is a little concerned and he tries to grab for someone to see if he can just make sure he doesn't lose track of any one of you.
I'll acquiesce and grab his hand and guide it to my shoulder.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright, so instead, you'll just hold on to your shoulder.
Yeah. Varkesh, can you cast light? And I don't think we went that deep. I wouldn't say more than like 40 feet or 30 feet.
Oh, it's down to you if you wanted to keep going, stop at a certain point.
Yeah. I think we were going to just stick to mostly the shallows and then just try to go north around to get closer to the greenwood.
Okay, because I thought you were going to go straight across the lake to the other side, as opposed to going down at about, a certain length and continuing east while in the water.
I think it'd be pretty valuable to cross all the way across, honestly. That completely negates any chance of us being spotted from above by a dragon or from anybody over in the camp.
Okay.
I mean, just to confirm, though, is this one of the lakes that was created by drowning the undead? Which, Class X genius plan.
As far as you know, no.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Fantastic. Love it. Let's go.
All right. In the meantime, Smokey will start talking to Eldarin.
I mean,
Oh,
sorry, just real quick about the undead thing. Valindra did do extensive research on the undead and all that happened in the War of the Undead. Are we going to find dead things here?
From the best that you... no, there shouldn't be
Okay.
any kind of undead presence inside the lake of Trilak.
Cool. Still keeping a lookout for anything that might try to kill us as we go across and go to Smokey.
Okay.
all right. So, Eldarin, as we said, we have your wife. She is safe in the bag of holding, still petrified, none worse for wear. We were able to find her in the vault. However, we have a bit of a situation on our hands where we are being hunted by some powerful people, one of which is a young dragon. We are hoping that you could possibly lend your forces to us for the next, until midnight tonight or so.
He looks at you very confused. Lend you my... You certainly seem to have a very interesting delusion. I have no forces to give. I was held against my will, so to speak, and I was working for that tyrannical creature. I have no means to be able to help you. I left my spell book back at the camp in order to just retreat here as soon as possible. Once you informed me that you had her, I left.
What was your
Why would
intent
you do
once you
that?
had her?
If I was to try and retrieve my book, which was kept under lock and key in a guardhouse with a few of those new creatures that were formed, I would certainly not be able to make it out alive. I had to make sacrifices, and so I chose my wife over my book. Now,
Okay.
if you don't mind, could you please tell me, what exactly have you gotten yourself into to make the wrath of a young dragon? What kind of dragon?
Blue. From the Jensen.
You didn't think the vault they were keeping your wife in would be unaffiliated from your erstwhile employers, did you?
I'm sorry. What are you referring to?
Wait, did you not know that he was a dragon?
Who's a dragon?
Oh boy! Wow, you are Varkash. You are all yours.
You know the fellow that I was looking for when we first met, who ended up being your employer.
Your father, I believe you mentioned.
Yes, well, we found him deeper into the cave system of where we found you. After defeating the Medusa, he showed up, and then he revealed his true colors, so to speak.
Blue and scaly and very large.
And ancient.
Your father is a dragon?
Apparently
You're a
so.
half-dragon.
Oh, for the love of Christ, whoever.
More like 3/4.
That would explain quite a bit, actually. His interest
Wait.
in you makes much more sense.
Wait, what does that mean?
Well, considering that you are bred from two different species, one being a humanoid, the other being a draconian of sorts, that would make you a very rare specimen indeed. Probably something he was very keen on capturing, or at least duplicating. You're the reason, aren't you? You're the reason behind everything.
Wait, hold on. Before you start blaming me for things, because everyone else fucking does, what do you mean? Context, my dear chum. Context.
I quite question the leap in logic myself. I don't see what Tim being part dragon has to do with making statue people.
Before he was informing me of his true nature, well, before you informed me of it, I knew that he was interested in finding a way to create a hybrid, a species mixture, a cocktail of sorts that would allow him to infuse the better parts of different things to create a brand new creature of sorts, one that could dominate and dwarf all others on this world. I do know that he said that his inspiration came from something close to him, a unique opportunity that he had not considered.
Like, his bottom lip quivers. He goes, he said, close to him? Really? Wow.
Indeed. It seems
I mean,
that you have,
he's a dick. I don't like him.
it seems you have birthed the inspiration for him to try and take on this task, since you obviously are the offspring of his seed and whoever
Don't say
your mother
that.
was.
That's just
Still,
mean and
it
disgusting.
seems that if this is the case, that is exactly what he is trying to do, and if you're the inspiration and he was sending as much to convey... I don't understand the connection. You said that a dragon assaulted you from the Jinsin Desert, and it was not an ancient dragon.
No, the reason a dragon's after me is because of my family. I am originally from the Jensen Desert. I may not look it, but I'm half fire Ganassi.
Indeed. Well, if you are, that's interesting to note, but that doesn't make any sense. Why would that correlate to his father? That doesn't make any sense. The two would not really relate at all.
Primarily because of a link between that dragon, his family, and my family, who were under the thumb of his dad. It's a mess. A web of connections that leads me to believe that somehow this all has to be related. My family was infiltrated and under the control of people bearing the same symbol as your employer, his father.
Yes, your clan I am familiar with. They are the ones who are in charge of the vaults. They were the ones who were sent the rare items in order for them to be kept safe and secret, some of which were
Well,
taken.
that would have been real fucking nice to know before we walked into Trilac.
Hey, Sarah.
I assumed you were informed when you found out, since you had told me that you had found where she was being kept. The message
Do we
you had
look
sent me earlier.
informative?
You informed me, and you said that you were on your way to retrieve her, and you knew her location inside the vaults. That's what you told me.
Yes, but we didn't know the whole weird web of connections between my dad and his family.
Well, I don't think he did either at this point. More to the point, this all appears to be in some way linked together, unless, of course, this just happened to be a completely separate blue dragon of no alignment or knowledge of another major blue dragon in the area, which, correct me if I'm wrong, that's not exactly common.
You have to understand, this is why I'm so perplexed. A blue dragon tends to live in the Jinsen Desert, as your friend here can tell you of, I'm sure, many of the few that have roamed his lands. I'm surprised you even left the desert, or how, but that is a story for another time. If you had a dragon follow you from the desert, that would make sense. But a dragon, a blue ancient dragon, forming a plan here outside the desert in the Florin Valley, that is quite peculiar. Most of them wouldn't tend to wish to even leave their homeland. As to why he is here, I do not know. But
and so we come to a major point here, come to think of it. The whole reason my family was just razed to the ground, my parents taken, was because we entered the vaults and removed those items for you. One being the statue of your wife.
What else did you remove?
Some other job statue that just happened to be in the area, but we wouldn't have been there had it not been for your wife.
Describe this statue to me.
It's a black cat.
Yep.
So they did find one.
Context.
They were searching for a statue of sorts, a wondrous item that would be able to turn into a living creature for a short period of time. Infusing stone with that life energy is something that they would have asked me to infuse upon the soldiers. They said that they had received one recently, and they were about to transfer it over to me. That is when I informed you, because they also told me that they were going to send my wife to me as well. Though they didn't really necessarily promise me to have her, they just said that she'd be kept close to me and under my care, as opposed to being kept there.
Did you have a meeting set up today at the Traders Guild to retrieve that statue?
Certainly not. I have not been anywhere in Trilac. I only just arrived nearby about an hour ago before I found you.
Smokey.
Another proxy.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you. Seeing as you have a far more extensive knowledge about the Ginseng Desert and the dragons that live there, could you maybe, in your profound wisdom and intellect, entertain the idea that maybe my dad is here because he had a territory or a ruling dispute with the Git who sent the dragon to us now? Do you think that's possible?
I mean, I had never actually met a dragon before your dad. I mean, I'd heard stories about the suzerain and his court and all that stuff, but I mean, it's possible. But the thing is, if your dad's an ancient blue dragon, which I'm pretty sure he is, he'd have to have been around for a very, very long time. And the idea of him not being known among the other blues seems very strange to me. That doesn't seem likely.
We don't know that he isn't known. That's the thing.
I think he is known. I think that if we could actually get to talk to the younger blue dragon, he would be able to tell us a lot about your dad.
Yep, most likely, but because that's not what I said. I said he probably most likely is very known, hence why I asked you the question. Maybe, I have no idea how big and or old a suzerain has to be, but I'm assuming he has to be pretty damn big. So then maybe, now just entertain the idea, my dad, who's a bit of a dickhead, and the suzerain, who's a bit of a dickhead, went, who's bigger, who's stronger, clash, clash, clash. My dad lost, got very salty about it, up and fucked off. Florin set up his own organization to try and plan and take over, and then basically round two.
I mean, it's
But
possible.
then why would the younger dragon be the one enacting the vengeance of your father upon my family when we removed those items from the vault?
Well,
Well,
Smokey said that his sister threatened the use of a suzerain and his might. So maybe Smokey's siblings are actually working for the suzerain and not my father.
I'm pretty sure they are. Rook, I don't know. I have a feeling that maybe they overheard what... I don't know why they would attack your family.
Maybe because they're connected to my dad.
I don't know.
Maggie specifically stated that people with shapeshifting capability under a similar symbol to the one of Varkesh's father were the ones who were using the vaults.
Could have been
And also the reason that my parents were taken and that and our cathedral was decimated was because of our theft.
But then there's the possibility that my dad took your parents as punishment for failing because we managed to infiltrate and take what we needed, and then just by coincidence, Smokey's siblings with the young dragon came in and then fucked up the locale.
I mean, I think.
And how did a rod know that the tower was going to be dropped, and what did it?
I'm not unconvinced that your dad is the suzerain, Varkesh.
No, I'm not saying he is.
Your
suzerain.
Suzerain. Oh, don't be foolish.
Why could that not be a thing?
If he was a suzerain, why would he be outside of his domain?
Because he wants to expand it.
Far be from it. Do you not understand the history, the ages that have gone past here in this land? The dragons have set up their territories here for centuries. Each one has designated their territory well in hand. They will not expand into another's territory without fearing the wrath. Currently here in the valley, this is the brass, and I now know the copper are residing here as well, but the brass would certainly not tolerate his incursion, especially if he was the suzerain. The suzerain would have been the king of all dragons, of the blue flight at least. His presence would not be tolerated if he were to show himself here.
But there is a chance that a single dragon, albeit a big ancient one, could probably go under the radar if he played his cards right.
Should
say as appearing as a Goliath everywhere he went?
Possibly.
Should he keep that illusion? Yes, perhaps. But it would be well noticed if a suzerain left their land. The Jinsin Desert certainly still has their leader residing in its hold. Otherwise, everyone would be on alert if his absence was noticed.
And who would suspect an ancient blue dragon plotting in secret a large army, which apparently I'm responsible for, which is great to know, by the way.
Varkesh, you're not responsible for it. You were maybe an inspiration, but none of your actions actually made this happen. You didn't ask to be born.
Thanks.
It's not your fault.
Well, that does beg the question. What did you need those bits that you stole from me for?
They were requested for me to be able to analyze. I wasn't sure why they were important, but considering your heritage, it makes sense. You were the influence, the reason behind me trying to infuse two different species into one.
Right, so...
And did you find anything interesting out of that?
Sadly, I wasn't able to truly analyze it.
So it's safe to assume that any creature really that comes out of this now has probably been spliced together with the parts that you stole from me.
It's possible if you did not retrieve them in the vaults.
Nope.
Then perhaps they might still be in his possession if they were not retrieved. If he sent someone in order to retrieve the goods to bring back, that means he was employed, or he employed your family, it seems. Rook, correct?
Yes.
If your family was in charge of keeping them safe and they failed to do so, the consequences could fall onto their shoulders. But you mentioned a young blue dragon. That is the curious question. He did not have any dragon under his employ, nor one who I would assume would even be out there. He could have a flunky, I suppose, but you said this dragon was tied into your family, wasn't it?
My brother specifically said that this dragon was a personal guard of the suzerain.
That it sounds like you have two conflicting forces. It seems you are stuck between a hard place and a rock, as they say.
Or a mountain or a
Well-
mountain.
Regardless, Mr. Eldraine, I understand that you feel under-equipped without your spell book and such things, but any help you could provide us just until even the morning would be immensely helpful. I mean, when your wife was taken, was there ever one point when that was happening that you asked for help from someone and they said no? And you feel that maybe if that person had been a little bit more charitable and actually given their help to you, things may have been different for you and your wife.
Even something as simple as a safe place to hide or any form of magical concealment, anything would be of assistance.
I am in your debts, and I will be happy to offer what assistance I can. Though I don't have much without my book, I'm unable to really expand upon what I've already memorized for today. Though I can try, and help as best I can, and follow you as long as I can until you are able to return my wife to me safely. During this time, Varkash, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
What? Why? What do I
Because
do?
we're
Being
we're
scryed on.
scryed on.
You're the only one that hasn't been scryed on in the party yet.
Yeah, at least you don't have disadvantage, though. I don't know why she's
Come
choosing
on,
you.
cleric boy.
Yeah.
Black boy, big blue, cleric boy. So was it?
How many
was it wisdom
fifth level
save?
slots does she freaking have?
Apparently quite a lot. Well, actually,
24.
she is in divination, so she regains those when she uses them anyway.
No, of a lesser, but yeah.
All right. Okay, so
Okay.
All right. So you're willing to help us. That's great. How far into the Greenwood is the hideout? That's where you just came from, correct?
well, yes, I flew from the encampment in Greenwood. Why?
We think that's where Rook's parents are being kept. Before you left, did you notice a tiefling and a older Kenku being brought in?
I left last night in a hurry. I flew as fast as the bird
Okay.
could fly. I am unaware of anyone who has taken anyone else into that direction at this time.
Okay. That being the case, what can you tell us about that compound?
You wish to go there? That's a bit of a dangerous task. Why would you want to go there?
They're not keeping my family.
I'm certain they will not harm your family, considering they are the heads of your clan, in charge of the rest of the flock, as it were.
I'm not so certain.
I feel they might be made an example of, but if you wish to try and stop them from being taken, you certainly can try, though they will be a target for his wrath either way. You will have to keep them in hiding at that point. The rest of your clan, your whole flock, will have to be kept into hiding.
They're quite good at that.
I mean,
The biggest matter is getting them away from the current captors.
true, but it's early days yet. You don't want to be making any rash decisions just now.
We're not planning to go right now. We are already partially depleted, but we're looking for information.
Very well. Well, perhaps we shall be able to understand more of the situation as time passes, or when we have time to rest and regather ourselves. You said you need to be safe for a duration. How long?
The shortest term I need to be... My book is something that is actually belongs in my family, and I am currently in the process of attuning to it, and I need until midnight to do that properly. And so I needed to make it so no one can take it from me.
Well, we shall try, I suppose. As he is talking, by the way, and everyone has begun to find that their path is slowly going uphill, you realize you are coming to the other side of the lake.
The north side of the North Lake, I believe, right?
The north side of the East Lake.
Oh, the East Lake.
This is confusing.
There's an east, a west, and a south. You were in the old district, which is south of the East Lake, so that lake would have been to the north of you.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna forge a compass.
The pedal with the poisons and the vessel with the pestle.
The vessel. Like one of the dragons do, that is true.
So, okay, we're going up. Do we want to leave the water? I mean, I don't know how powerful a dragon's lightning breath is, but I mean, this is a lake. We may get a little sting, but I think
As long as we're obscured from those above, I think we should stay down here until that magic runs out.
I mean, this lasts for 24 hours.
This lasts for 24 hours.
Yeah.
There's...
I think it's best if we rested here completely.
Okay.
We're
In that case, I can actually make it so that we can't be scryed on or anything like that. I would suggest we go deeper down.
Back
though.
deep again, yes.
How does everyone feel about that?
I think it's our
you
best bet.
sleep and hold concentration on water breathing?
It's not concentration.
Ah, okay.
What about the
Cool.
sanctum?
It's also not concentration.
Well, damn.
Sweet. Well, let's do this.
You wish to set up your base here?
Yes, I
Yeah.
think. I
Deep
mean,
down.
unless you have any, do you have any insights on this matter?
I was just curious as to what you were planning on doing, but certainly if you wish to place yourselves here, this is as good as any, I suppose.
Spooky wants to pretend to be a catfish. So there we go.
All right, let's sleep with the fishes. Cool.
All right.
What time of day is it?
Right now, it's probably 1 to 2.
Yeah. Would you allow us to take a long rest right now?
We've already had one for the day.
You've you've taken a beating and you've been a bit bruised and beaten, so you could, in essence, start to try to take a long rest if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
It's down to you.
I wouldn't mind attempting to take a long rest, but I mean, definitely we need multiple watches.
It's up to everyone else, I suppose.
I do not require any time to regain any magical ability. I can take more than one watch. I shall need to sleep tonight before we do anything of importance.
Sure.
So wait, are we taking a long rest or a short rest?
I mean, I have no problem just waiting here until
I think it's our best option.
time has passed and they can't find us.
Based on where we know the base is in Greenwood, how long would it take us to get from here to there?
If you were to travel on foot without roads, it might take you 2 days.
Really?
It's pretty far on the map.
Yeah.
I think that would be 2 days if we were flying, maybe.
Where else would they take your family, Rook?
I have no insight into the machinations of this organization.
You've
That's
emerged
the nearest
here.
place.
And you know to get to the base, which is basically like over here.
Yep.
It would take you it would take you a day first just to get to the forest, and then another day just to push through and kind of make your way in a dense piece of wood.
All right.
Because we don't even know if they're going to be there, but if they are going to be there, I feel like we should get there sooner than later. So it might be good to continue the rest of the day and knock out as much as we can.
It's just
With the dragon possibly flying oversight?
I'd really prefer if we could just wait until tomorrow morning. I will be gung-ho for anything you guys want to do, but can we please just be as cautious as possible for the rest of today?
Mind?
I'm hesitantly of a mind with you, Smokey.
And by the way, just a quick question here, just to make sure. So, you guys started at the lake. Varkash helped you illuminate. You made it all the way to the lake. You're now going to situate. How many deep down from the lake shore are you going?
Smokey is going to make it so he's probably going to make it the box pretty not super big, maybe 40 by 40 feet. Just to
how far down in the lake?
And make sure that the top of the lake is like 40 feet above the top of the cube.
Okay.
Preferably deep enough in to be obscured from anything above, but not so deep as to where we couldn't get out there if we were to have to start breathing normally again.
Yeah, I'd say 80 feet down. What do you guys think?
Seems reasonable.
Okay.
All right, and I will use my 6th level slot to cast Mordenkainen's Private Sanctum.
Okay. So, as you set up the sanctum, giving you that 40-foot by 40-foot cube, and Varkash settled inside with Valindra, Eldrin, and Rook, you all settle down, wishing to stay put for the time.
That's the plan.
All right.
Yeah.
As you stay put, I need everyone's passive perceptions, please.
I did say I was keeping a lookout.
Okay,
As
you can
did
make an
I.
active perception.
14.
I stated I was also watching and taking multiple watches since don't need to rest during this
Active
time.
perceptions.
15, and we are short rested, so we're leveled up.
I'm not moving anywhere, so 22.
Okay. All right. So, Rook, you notice this. In the distance, in the lake, there's a... For a quick second, you saw what appeared to be a lightning bolt.
Okay. I'll alert the others, but...
All right. You guys, you're basically 25% chance.
Uh,
All right.
wait, what does it mean?
There
He
was
doesn't know which lake it is.
There was another bolt of lightning nearby.
Mm-hmm.
Are these big bolts or these little bolts?
Dragon breath.
They're big
ones.
They're familiar in size. You recognize that suddenly around you in the lake, there are lightning bolts being sent inside to find you. A third
Yummy.
one comes, shoots down, gets closer to you.
I don't think I can deflect them anymore. Just so.
I don't think there's any point in us moving either.
Mm-mm.
Right on the party. I need you all, please, to make dexterity saving throws with disadvantage.
Oh, lovely.
Yep.
16.
14.
Oh,
Ooh.
wow.
With
I just like
disadvantage, sadly.
Oh shit!
I know, because you
I was
guys are
about to
in
just
water.
literally bed knobs
Yeah.
and broomsticks the fuck out of the way. Damn it! Bobbing along. Shit. So how?
All right, I'm
much
double checking. I
damage?
believe the DC is 16.
None of us passed. Well, Rook
I did.
possibly passed,
Doubly
which would be
checking.
nice for him.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, and of course, your friend has to roll his dex save as well,
Mm-hmm.
and so he will roll a. Okay, so that's
I don't necessarily know it would have much force having to
Go through 80 feet
dissipate
of
all
water.
of its. Yeah.
going through 80 feet where it can go over 120 foot in one direction, and it's electricity and a conductive medium.
Being spread out across the entirety of the lake.
Disperses.
It's not being
Diffusal
dispersed,
is a
it's
thing.
being zapped through.
It'll still diffuse all the force.
In
Yeah.
But let's see here. He will roll a 18. Oh, all right. Oh, I'm sorry. He gets a disadvantage as well.
There's Eldarin.
Yeah, this is Eldarin. Oh, no.
Wah.
Poor Eldarin. All right. It is
We
a
have
16
potions.
DC. So, Rook, you take no damage.
Hey.
You are fine as you pass, luckily, getting moved out of the way just in time. But you can see that the magic that is infused behind this breath allows it to puncture and pierce past the water, almost able to get inside as it diffuses around and hits the party. And it is...
Wonder if the brass dragon are going to notice a blue dragon's just going ape shit in their territory.
I think you would.
Okay.
Double check if that's correct.
beg,
Yep.
I beg your fucking pardon. I don't like that number.
You take 66 points of lightning damage. Barkesh is taking 33, as he is resistant to it. But the rest of you
Yeah.
feel a zap go straight into you.
Oh, that's a horrible number.
You have a chance to do anything if you want.
No, I'm gonna pretend like nothing happened.
All right.
That's the idea.
Okay. It continues to strafe around and.
Oh, I will offer a greater potion of healing to our wizard friend who just got zapped, though.
Okay, he will
Oh,
take
no.
it.
Welcome to the team, buddy.
He will take the potion.
He's in the trenches. I'm not gonna fuck him.
When he's gone.
Just see it just like go belly up like a goldfish.
Oh no. Oh no.
What?
All right.
That
When he
Doesn't-
died, or when he went up.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
no,
Alright.
I mean he's a familiar. He poofs out of existence on death. It's stated in the spell.
This
Yeah,
one is a
he-
special one.
No, but when he's Winnie's exploded before.
He has.
Usually,
and
anytime he dies, he melts into shadow.
It was a plasma blast.
It was a
How are
plasma
remains going to happen?
In order for Valindra to reassemble Winnie, Winnie's parts are infused and kept in almost a kind of a solid, like a golem construct. It shatters into pieces and gets reassembled every time she casts Find Familiar.
And there are still fish in a lake, so whatever.
As my action, can I just, like, dissolve the pieces back to me?
Actually, here's a question for you. Did Winnie come with you, and did Winnie get the water breathing spell?
I mean, Winnie doesn't need to breathe.
That's been established before.
He doesn't, yeah. So that means he would have come into the water with you, and yeah, he would have... He's floating up. His pieces are floating.
Yeah, well, can I, like, action shadow him?
Turn him back into your shade?
Yeah.
The shade will pull off from the remains and come to you.
But in the past, like... In the past, didn't his, like, body, like, melt to shadow and come to me as soon as he died?
Yeah,
it has.
The shadow is able to compress his form and move it around.
But you're not.
So, I mean, do you want to try to compress the pieces?
Well, then I'll mage hand grab the pieces.
Okay.
Well, the thing is, there's debris freaking everywhere. If it hit us, it hit the ground. So there's mud and sludge and fish and crap everywhere this thing shoots.
Yep. But you can try to grab the parts. There are at least 5 separate parts that you can try to grab. Each one starting to float away. You grab at least the first 2. 3. You'll have to start to swim up to get to the others.
Yeah.
All right. So you start to swim to the surface to get closer to the other ones.
Well, my spell range is doubled because of Spell Stiper.
It is not a spell attack.
Unfortunately.
I hate everything.
But the other hand is going to grab them. I'm going to give this thing disadvantage on being able to see if anything appears
There's
from
so much crap in the way.
And I mean, even then, like...
All right. It doesn't see anything noticeable coming from there. But it continues to strafe across the lake. In this general vicinity, looking around and trying its best to do this, you get the sense that it is not going to relent until it sees some success from its efforts. It is a bombardment.
So, sincere mechanics question, because I don't get it. How would he have any indication around here?
You wish to know the meta reason of how he found you?
Well,
Yeah, it's obviously not going to affect anything we do at this point, but like I see.
He knew we were hiding in a lake, but he didn't know which lake.
How would he have known we were hiding in a lake?
All right, I'll just give you this guy so you can feel a little bit more certainty. Varkesh failed his wisdom saving throw.
How?
24?
Because there's a lot of minus modifiers that are applied to it.
She's the one he didn't take anything from, though. I thought.
Wait.
Yeah, she doesn't have.
Yeah, she was the one that
didn't take
she didn't
anything from him, but she has
So
something else.
God.
What? She has my bits, doesn't she?
Why does she have to say my bits?
She has.
Because I know exactly what I said, and I said it for that reason.
She has the ability to have a likeness, as well as something else to help reduce your saving throw down. With the scrying spell, she was able to locate the location as it zoomed in, and realizing very easily that you are sticking to your original plan that they had overheard in the previous scrying, saying that you were going to go into a lake and find a way to hunker down and hide. After recuperating and recovering themselves, they sent the Suzerain's guard, the blue dragon, out into the lake, into the location that was seen aerially by the scry, and from there, bombarding and throwing out lightning bolts in hopes to find and maybe perhaps eliminate the enemy or to scare you out of where you are.
Bloody redneck fishing. That's unfair.
And it continues.
It
gets very close to you, but not enough to hit anyone in the party.
Okay, guys, it's not going to stop. There's no reason for it to stop, and it's 2:00 in the afternoon.
And if we leave, then we'll be in easy sight. We have no better option other than going deeper to where it can't hit us.
No,
Yeah,
I have a plan.
Okay.
Hold my hands. Everyone just hold my hands really quickly before the next one hits.
Okay.
Address him and I grab his hand.
Hold his hands.
All right,
Okay.
you all are grabbing
I cast-
hands.
I cast Word of Recall.
All right, another one off to the distance. And you cast Word of Recall. All right, 5 living creatures. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, so including you make 6 within 5 feet of you. All right.
Well, yeah.
Because Winnie is just Winnie's parts that you've gathered.
Have you set a sanctuary?
I only have one.
In this one, we are having him allowed to have one sanctuary to start in the beginning, so that
Okay.
you can go to the default. Very similar to in a teleportation circle spell, you have 2 already pre-known circles to use.
It's really okay. Go for it.
All right. So, holding all your allies together, you all feel a sudden surge as you vanish from the water, and you just get funneled into this light beam, this intense sudden burst of going out of the lake, into the water, out of it again, and you can see yourself just kind of going, cycling through all these different pieces of land, mountain, forest, plains. Suddenly you emerge, landing in a spot as you look around and can see what appears to be a ruined temple beside you, forest, trees surrounding you, and then a sudden realization as you feel cold rain hit the top of your heads as a storm lingers above you, and you feel that you are now high up in the mountains somewhere in the middle of some turbulent rain, and you are just cold, shivering, but somehow safe in this one isolated location. And that's where we're going to go on break, guys. So we're going to give our players the time to stretch their legs, give them a little bit of a moment to, gather their thoughts as they will figure out what they are going to do now that they are in Varkesh's God's ruined temple. So we'll be back, and I will give you guys 7 minutes. So we'll be coming. Actually, we'll go ahead and make it a 9. So we'll come back at 8:30 on the dot. So we'll see you guys there. And of course, for all you guys sticking around with us, I will be granting out. Let's do. What do you think? Another 1,000 points? Just
No,
because
make
I
it
feel
2,000.
2,000? Ooh, that's a little. That's a lot.
It's
I think we'll stick with 1,000. 1,000 is quite
10,000 and
Thousand's
not a penny
good.
less.
All right, we'll give you guys 1,000 points to use, to spend, to gamble, and to heist away.
Heist.
Yeah, but we'll see you guys in just a bit. Okay, and we're back from the break, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us. I've already sent out 1,000 HOTA points to all of you who have been sticking... Oh, sorry. Triple T points. So you now all have those in your banks to use. Now we'll get back to the rest of you guys, as you are now sitting atop what appears to be some kind of mountainside with a lot of forest and a lot of rain.
Varkesh, where are we?
I told you wouldn't like it, but yeah, I mean, this way, we might as well get out of the rain, and I lead them through the forest towards the entrance.
It is mostly ruins, but there are a few pieces that are at least still standing that you can get under for some shelter.
Well, you said, remember, it was a cave. It was a temple in a cave.
I don't quite remember if it was in a cave or...
Yep, said about this.
All right, so yeah, you're able to get some shelter in the rain.
So what was that? Can you teleport now?
Kind of. And kind of not.
Where are we, Varkesh?
Andrew, correct me if I'm wrong. We are in the kingdom of Luxem?
No, you're not quite in the kingdom of Luxem, but you're in the border between them and Florin. It's in an area well, I mean, you technically don't necessarily know exactly on the map where you are. You know that you were moving between the two kingdoms. You were in Drayden's Pass at the time. And somewhere in there is where you stumbled across this.
Okay. So not super, super far, actually.
Somewhere in Drayden's Pass, okay.
Well, it is still on the wild, so it would be quite a trek.
Well, at the same time, you don't know where you are.
True.
You know you're somewhere there, but the exact location, not sure.
It could be worse, but now we shall have a...
respite, at least.
Yes, a respite, and... we are away from the primary problem at hand. Eldarine,
Wait, before we say anything else, Smokey, can you put up the guard again?
No.
Fuck.
We should be fine here.
Yeah, until they somehow find a way to scry on us now that they know he's with us.
Well, if it's in the Drain Pass, that's a ways away, even by Dragonflight. I mean, I don't. I mean, I don't know how fast the dragon flies.
I mean-
Would Smokies? Can I get like an intelligence check to know if we are in and out of its range or not?
Let's put it this way. I don't believe the big man upstairs will allow nefarious dealings to go on around his temple. But just if it does, even if they did manage to scry on us, by the time a dragon gets here, there'll be plenty of time for you to have attuned to that book.
And at this point, Eldarine, you are known affiliates. You are a known affiliate of ours.
Oh,
That's a fun little point. By the way, no, sadly, you cannot purchase it for the DM. I'm not cruel enough to try and force the players or a death
Thank
of any
God.
sorts.
Wait, what?
Someone
tried to buy the DM inspiration.
So we don't want to
Who
do
they're
that.
trying to kill?
But you can absolutely hold on to it in the meantime. And then there are commands for you to be able to redeem points by doing exclamation point.
Exclamation.
redeem. And then you put the name of any of our characters here, and then you underscore and type IP. That will give them a direct inspiration, and it will take away from the points you have.
Side note, don't do that right now. We all have at least
we're
one.
all full.
So yeah, I'm sorry for the lag. I'm not sure what is causing it right now.
Be a whole Twitch
Oh
problem.
yeah.
But yeah, so if you guys can hear me, I do apologize for that. I really have no clue as to what's causing it. Everything has been operating, hopefully, as it should from the last week when we had good internet connection. So, not sure. But either way, what was the question you were looking for, Smokey?
Like, could I figure out, like, just an intelligence check if he says, like, the Drayden's Pass, could I try and figure out, like, how the dragon flies, like, how far it could possibly make it in now 11 hours of travel?
Yeah, so go ahead and make an intelligence check.
Okay.
As far as they know, we're still in the lake.
It's true.
You get the sense that if a dragon stopped what it was doing and immediately moved to you as fast as it could, if it knew exactly where you were, maybe it could get there in the span of 6 hours? 5 hours?
But even we don't know exactly where we are, so fuck it.
Well, it's true. Even if she scryed on us, she wouldn't know. That's another thing. Scrying doesn't give you an exact location of where the heck someone is. It just shows you their general direction. She'd know we're in a lake, but she wouldn't know which lake we are.
She would know the general direction because the way the scrying spell would work, it would hone into you. It's not just a like the blink up, it's a
That could travel.
zip in.
He's taking
Alright.
the Mercer method of scrying rather than
We
raw scrying.
Alright.
next town we get to, can we all just agree to pitch in and buy something that can prevent us from being spied on
There's
at
not,
any
Unequivocally.
time during the day?
well, I mean, I
Happily.
bought that scroll, actually. Well, I can't do it, though. It's not a ritual. I mean, I have two methods of doing that. One is the Sanctum. The other one is an individual spell for individual people that lasts for 24 hours, but it costs a little bit of diamond dust.
Well, but there has to be like some kind of item that prevents us from being spied on, isn't there? So that you don't have to cast a spell?
I haven't heard of one.
Presumably,
Never alive.
anything that comes in a spell could be infused in an item, right?
Possibly. I'm not really much of an enchanter, though.
We'll have to do something about that.
Not you being an enchanter, just finding an item.
Or
Or
both.
Or
I mean,
both.
we have Varkesh who can make things. If you could enchant them, we would have an excellent business model for one, but also...
Well, it's a bit more complicated
Well-
than that.
In any case, guys, if they do happen to find our location, a dragon, I think, could get here in a matter of hours and not past our time limit.
So we need to move somewhere nondescript as soon as possible.
Or we could set up an ambush.
I think we'll be safe here. In this cave, going into the temple. That's like we talked about.
You do
I
see
mean,
Atledrin looking a little bit confused and staring at you all. Are you wishing to try and take shelter here? That didn't seem quite successful back there. Is there anything that you can do to assure our defenses?
Unless you can prevent someone from scrying on you, not particularly.
I cannot do that, but I can erect a wall to block the entrance.
How long would it last?
Indefinitely.
Wait, like forever?
Yes.
Well, unless
Kind
one
of
of us
an
removed it
indefinite
afterwards.
All right, that sounds great. Actually, yeah.
All right. Just do be aware that I will be blocking off our only air source, supposedly, if there are no other exits to this cave. And we might want to all be inside and ready. Are you all fine?
Would you by chance be able to leave a small opening then, in that case?
I could make a door afterwards.
That only we can use.
It would be small enough for only a humanoid to use, I suppose.
But that'd be silly because he can polymorph into a human and just go door.
Well, not so much blue dragons, but it
I
would.
could make a slit or two to allow air to pass by, if you wish, instead of a door.
That would be
sounds
ideal.
Good.
All right.
And I assume you can dispel it eventually yourself.
Dispel what?
Not dispel, maybe move.
The wall will be permanent.
But we can. You have a way for us to get out when we want to.
Well, he said he could make a door.
Indeed, I can.
Okay.
All right.
So, wall with a slit for now, door will come later, and we can get your wife out and see what we can do for the two of you.
Well, even better.
Once we
I'll
are
make sure
safe.
the wall doesn't reach the ceiling. It'll just go up to the point where it'll still have some air caps above. Would that be
Okay.
suitable?
That would work.
I will say two things. Don't mess with the statue in there, and two, probably the most important, is watch out for the crags.
As in
For the crags?
the
for the
crevices in the earth.
Yeah. They're very deep, let's put it that way. And
Okay.
if the stone gives out from under you and you don't catch yourself, you're going to go straight down to hell if I know.
Sounds good,
Okay.
Hunt. Sounds good. All right, so as you all step further in, you see that Eladrin begins a slow casting in front of him as eventually finishing a spell, raises his hands up as you see stone suddenly kind of go high and higher and higher, and it goes up to the point where it nearly completely covers and tops the ceiling of the cave, leaving a tiny slit so the air can come through. But it is walled off, as a stone wall exists. And he looks behind and nods. There, that should do it.
Okay. I mean, Rook, if you want to go first and just tap the ground with your rapier to make sure it doesn't collapse under our weight or something.
Sure. It would be an...
Or would you like me to go first?
Yeah, you've navigated this area safely before. Do you know what to look out for?
Mm-hmm. Holes. And then I just walk forward.
I like
Well, you with an additional light source, as Varkesh has lit his mace, you
Yeah.
all have a means to be able to see ahead of you as you make your way into the deep tunnel, eventually emerging into what appears to be the remains of the temple. The section where the altar and what appears to be a statue kept itself in the back, fairly well preserved for its time. And you do come across a few of those open wounds in the ground, those black pits, easily able for Varkesh to step over with his size. For Smokey, he might have to do a little bit of a running leap occasionally, but for the rest of you, it's a similar kind of process. But you make your way into the heart of this forgotten temple, feeling safe and a bit isolated. The sounds of the outside world are muffled from the stone wall, and you seem to just be sitting in a dank, cold cave.
This brings back memories. Horrible, horrible memories. Still.
Why are they horrible of this place? Isn't this where you first came to find your deity?
Yes, but it was primarily the before the finding the big man memories that I'm talking about.
This is
Yes,
after.
when your father held you prisoner or what have you. Thing with the
Yeah,
tail.
yeah. That was finding this place was painful because I was caught in a storm, a really nasty one, and he
Like
kind of
the
led me
one
here.
now?
No, the one I was caught in was horrible. It was lightning and gale force winds, and it was pitch black. I couldn't keep a torch lit to save my life. I was being blown over, falling over tree limbs and roots, shrubs, rocks. I was a mess.
So presumably this was after you made an escape from your erstwhile captors. How did you do that?
Find myself here?
Yes.
Well, I believe the storm led me here because everywhere I went, the storm seemed to shift and just keep pushing me and pushing me until I eventually found this place and I took shelter in this cave. Almost fell down one of those crags, mind you.
Well, right, no, I mean, I followed all of that. I meant, like, how did you get away?
Oh, from being chained up?
Yes.
Mhm.
I ripped it out, which was not pleasant.
Yes, I can imagine.
Yeah. It's like I'm very good at what I do, but before I had the ability to use any divine powers to create pretty much anything I so well damn please, I had to do it by hand, and the only way I could ever do it was either heating the metal to critical temperatures and burning myself, cooking my tail from the inside out, or literally ripping the bolts out of it. I chose the latter.
It seems to still be raw nowadays. Why do you not heal it with your magic?
It's a reminder. It's the least I can physically endure, given what happened and the reason why I escaped or chose to.
Pardon my interruption from your tale. In both ways of the word. May I please see my wife?
Oh, yes, of course. I will go over to the altar, and I will very gingerly remove his wife and place it upon the altar.
Okay.
Because it's probably the best place to put her.
He will watch and make sure that everything is safe, and he inspects, makes sure that there's no chips, nothing broken.
Just put her on the ground and the crag opens up and just swallows it.
Just quicksand.
Shit.
Why is there quicksand on the altar? Indiana Jones, I don't know.
He does seem to be satisfied as he makes sure that she's in one piece and just keeps her close as he seems to kneel and just sit beside her, just looking down at her occasionally in silence. He looks to be lost in memory.
So how did she come to be that way? How were you ensnared?
How long has she been stoned?
It's been
Bad edibles?
It's been years since she was turned into this state. I was able to keep her youth with my abilities, allowing her to look as young as she did when I first met her, but I cannot stop the aging process.
Yes, that's right. It was a sort of transaction. They would keep her that way to keep her young until you could complete your research, right?
I put her in this state. It was my last resort. To keep her as she is before she could pass. A time would be just a brief blink for her. She would not know. But I hope to infuse her with as much as I can to perhaps extend her lifespan. That has been my work. That has been my goal. Your father discovered my interests and exploited them, and soon took her from me and used her as a means to keep me working under his thumb.
Sorry.
How did your wife feel about, your efforts?
She believed in me. and she trusted that I would, and I shall, find a way to restore her as well as bring her a extension of life.
Careful. That's a tricky path to the dark side, my friend.
Kind of glance over at Valindra out of the corner of my eye, and then back over to him.
Speaking of Valindra, I am going to ask that she come with me.
Having a powwow right now, Varkesh.
It'll be quick, just a moment.
Okay, I'll go with him.
Okay. Okay. I take it to like deeper into the cave, just like, you know, obviously where the light can still be seen in the distance as much as it can be. You were quite something back during that fight.
She didn't leave me with much of a choice. It's not something I wanted to do.
Okay. Now, this is where I'm a bit conflicted, you see, because I'm pig-headed. I can be irrational. I can be bull-headed. I can act without thinking. I can do all a myriad of things, but I generally have you guys to draw me back if I go too far. Now, I get it. You've been through some difficult moments recently with finding out that Draken the Black was your patron and that he was messing you around and that Winnie was not really Winnie. And what I find is truly interesting is that I'm part monster. My dad's an actual monster. He's literally a blight upon the world that needs to be removed. But what you did was more monstrous than what I could ever be. You killed. You didn't kill. You executed Smokey's brother in front of his sister. Now, before you say anything, and don't get me wrong, you're going to be completely valid in defending yourself. There was two reasons why I brought him back. Was for Smokey's sake, and was for your sake. You executed him in front of her. She now thinks, until he can say otherwise to her, that he's dead. And that now she may just have a complete blood vendetta against you. So bringing him back to ensure that she can be proven otherwise might take a little bit of flack off you. But I never thought that you were capable of literally executing someone.
I gave her... Thank you for your input. I gave her 2 chances. She had plenty of time to make her decision, and she made it. She was going to come after me anyway because I was with Smokey. And until they're dead, they're not going to stop coming after Smokey. Mm-hmm. And they're not going to stop coming after us. Something has to lead to a final end. Mm-hmm. And it's going to end up being either us or them.
Shouldn't you let that be Smokey's decision before you pass judgment on his family?
It's something that I need to talk to him about, yes. But at the time, we were put in a very unfortunate circumstance. Mm-hmm. I tried to use him as a bargaining tool, and she showed exactly what he meant to her.
Right. I was there too. I watched you. I was right behind you when you did this. You gave her an ultimatum. She looked conflicted. It was the dragon that didn't give 2 shits. You played the wrong card to the wrong creature, and the creature that clearly did not care who lived or died acted. You made a bad judgment call. Not only that, Rook was a bad instigator for wanting to cut his damn tongue out, and then you actually cut his damn tongue out, and then you bloody executed him.
Varkesh, what are you going to have us do? There's no end to this.
You don't make a choice. You don't get to make a choice like that. That was his brother.
Have to.
I just absolutely clout her and then just walk off.
And I'm just going to stay in the dark, because that's where monsters stay.
Yep.
You do realize that in a cave, this echoes.
Well, yeah,
And-
but it's the whole point of you go away to have the Barney instead of having it in front of everyone.
But it is
Yeah.
heard by your allies, and
And crossbow, I'm going to check out the disturbance.
well, I mean,
Well, AJ, can we make out words, or is it just
Oh, no, I think we
indiscreet
were
shouting?
No, I think we were loud enough.
particularly near the end, you would be able to at least know the words for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, how many points of damage do I take?
It's just an open palm
Probably
slap.
just one. It's a strength open hand smack.
Cool, I'm at 17 hit points.
From 80.
Fucking dragon breath.
Ooh, that's
Wait.
nasty breath.
Wait, that damage that was output during the lake, that seemed a lot more than what the dragon that we were fighting. Was it the same?
No, it was about the same.
Okay, fair enough. Continue.
So Rook's going to investigate.
Yep, pretty much.
I go back to Smokey. Oh, by the way, she's the one
So
who
I
executed your
passed
brother.
by Varkesh on the way in. On the way out, like I passed by Varkesh.
Yeah, most likely. There's only
Okay,
one way in and one way out.
What's going on? Are we being attacked? What's going on back there? Say anything? Just walk past.
Cool.
I'm guessing Varkesh says nothing.
Well, he's with Smokey at the moment.
Well,
He's-
but like while
Rook-
Rook is passing Varkesh, as you guys are passing in the tunnel on your way to Smokey, and he's on his way to me.
Oh, no. They just pass.
No, I specifically asked you.
Oh,
Face to face as
I
we're
thought
walking.
you went to Valindra. Sorry,
Yeah,
my
while
bad.
we're passing by.
You know, Brooke, to be perfectly honest, it's just a silly girl making silly decisions. And I walk by.
As you
That
reconvene
made
with Smokey.
no sense, and I'm going to continue on towards Valindra.
Okay. So with Smokey and Varkesh together and Valindra and Rook.
Well, it sounds like he had something he wanted to say to Smokey first.
Yeah.
No, Rook went to Valindra. That part's done. It's called fair trade-off.
Yeah.
Of
No.
here.
No. It sounded like Varkesh had something he wanted to say to Smokey.
Oh, yeah, okay. When he eventually gets back to Smokey, he stands in front of him and he goes, the reason why your brother didn't have a tongue was because Valindra cut it out. And while you were distracted and while you were too busy dealing with the situation at hand, she gave your sister an ultimatum. And that ultimatum was, stop or I will execute him. Needless to say, she did. But I brought her back for your sake and for hers. Try not to judge her too harshly. Truth hurts.
Okay. And then Smokey just, you see him just sort of break down, and he just tries to hug Varkesh as he just
I give him
starts
a hug
sobbing.
back. I pat stroke his head. There. Don't judge her too harshly. She's been through a lot, and she made a bad judgment call. But it's okay because I got there in time. He's alive. He was perfectly fine. Apart from his tongue. That is no longer there. Which is also Valindra's fault, by the way.
Yeah, Smokey's way beyond words.
I continue to console him. Over to you guys.
All right, cool. So Rook approaches. Just hand crossbow's still drunk, so he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. Scoping out the area. Valindra is. What?
Valindra's sitting down in the dark, stitching Winnie back together.
Right, so not under attack then.
No.
What was that about?
Varkesh shared his feelings of how I handled things today.
In regards to what? The people who were trying to kill us?
Yeah. In regards to what I did to Smokey's brother.
The ultimatum where your hand was forced, where you gave a chance to end hostilities.
Yeah. He doesn't see it that way, and I don't think Smokey will either.
Right, well, that's a whole other can of worms I gotta open with Smokey anyway. I gave an ultimatum there too. Tongue of my life. I don't regret it. Had to happen. It's been a thorn in our side too long. I wish it could go another way, but frankly, they don't give us an opportunity.
No, I know that. I don't regret it as much as I thought I would.
No time for it when they're trying to take our throats. Our families. Well, my family, I suppose. Yours too, if you consider Winnie.
Winnie's been gone a long time. I'm just now dealing with it, though, so... But that's a whole other... The time for saving him is long past. So... But...
Right, well...
But I made my decisions today, and Barkesh does not approve, but...
He's been doing a lot of questionable things lately.
Me?
I don't necessarily know that he... Look, that spell, from my understanding of it, the one that was put on the doors to our rooms, or the doors to the vault, it could change your way of looking at life, but it couldn't change how you feel. He tried to kill us.
Yeah, not something that I completely understand, but I know that in his right state of mind, he wouldn't try to kill us.
Right.
I mean, he
clearly
brought back someone who was trying to kill us, so clearly that wasn't all Barkesh.
Right. We need to have a conversation as a whole. That's what it comes down to. Figure out where each of us stands, how we can move forward with this. I'll let you finish with Winnie. When you have time, would you like me to stay? Leave you be? We're stuck in this cave either way.
It's up to you. You can do what you wish.
This is the cave of
If I did what I
retribution.
wish, I might be taking pot shots at Varkesh about this time.
Silly
So
thing to
let's,
say
take a
out
sip.
loud.
I don't think
None of
that,
us are screaming right now, Varkesh, unlike certain others.
I don't
Pigeon
think that
moment.
taking shots at each other is going to solve anything.
Exactly, so perhaps I ought to stay.
Aren't you just tired?
Oftentimes.
No, I mean, like, of everything. Anytime we try to find one answer, we end up with 1,000 more questions. I feel like we don't get a chance to catch our breath and really understand what's going on. I mean, I certainly have no idea what's happening.
I have inklings here and there, but mostly in the dark as you are, and yes, it is exhausting. And now my family is in danger because of it. I'm supposed to be good at figuring these things out, but I can't. We're grasping at straws at every turn. It is a lot. But we can't just sit here forever.
I
We
know.
have to move forward. And I will until I collapse of exhaustion or till perhaps someday I find peace. As much peace as I can find in this life.
And I know that, I mean, you're doing this for your family. Varkesh is doing it for his in a way. Smokey is doing it for his family. I'm just here.
I think you have a bit of a misunderstanding to my motives. My family is important to me, yes, and I wish to break them free for that, for sure. But I ran away from them initially for a reason. I'm doing this for my freedom.
I think
not
you're
be
doing
held
it
down
for
by
your
others.
family. I don't think you're doing it to reunite your family. I think you're doing it for your family, though.